Shush! Go back to sleep. It's warm here. It's safe here. The world outside is cold, chaotic, and demanding. Stay under the covers. This is your life now. The endless scroll. The streaming marathon. The climate-controlled box. You have achieved the ultimate human goal, the elimination of struggle. You have domesticated yourself. Like a lion born in captivity, you have forgotten what your teeth and claws are for. You are well-fed, safe, and completely dead inside. We think comfort is the goal. But biology teaches us a different lesson. In nature, anything that stops moving begins to die. Stagnation is not preservation, it is decay. Comfort is a slow-acting poison. It doesn't kill you quickly with a dramatic explosion. It kills you softly, over decades. It erodes your ambition, dulls your edges, and sedates your soul. You have built a velvet coffin. You have surrounded yourself with so much cushioning against pain that you cannot feel anything at all, not even joy. Your brain is conspiring against you. It is not wired for happiness, it is wired for survival. And to your ancient brain, survival means staying in the cave, conserving energy, and avoiding all risks. Every time you think about taking a risk, starting the business, asking for the date, posting your art, your brain screams the danger. It floods your body with cortisol. It tells you that growth is a threat to your safety. So you choose the cheap dopamine instead. You choose the sugar pellet of Netflix over the hard work of creation. The tragedy is not that you are trapped. The tragedy is that the cage door is open. There are no guards. No one is forcing you to stay in that job or that relationship. You are your own jailer. You have become a spectator in your own life. You watch other people take risks on screens. You live vicariously through characters in movies because you are too afraid to be the main character in your own story. Use it or lose it. This applies to your spirit as well as your body. If you do not use your courage, it atrophies. If you do not test your resilience, it disappears. You are becoming spiritually frail. And now, when life does demand strength from you, you collapse. You have rested so long that the slightest discomfort feels like torture. You have lost the ability to endure. The richest place on earth is the graveyard. It is filled with books that were never written, businesses that were never started, and loves that were never pursued. All because someone chose comfort over courage. The pain of discipline is measured in ounces. But the pain of regret is measured in tons. Right now, comfort feels good. But one day, it will feel like a suffocating weight of missed opportunities. A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. You were built for the open ocean. You were built to navigate storms, not to rot at the dock. You know something is wrong. That low-grade anxiety you feel, that boredom that eats at you, that is your soul screaming for adventure. It is begging you to leave the velvet coffin. You have to make a choice. You can stay warm and die inside. Or you can step out into the cold and feel alive for the first time in years. The sedated soul must wake up. The addiction to safety must be broken. Part 2, the terror of potential. Here is a disturbing truth. You say you want to win. You say you want the money, the body, the relationship. If I handed it to you right now, you would panic. You would find a way to destroy it. This is the upper limit problem. We all have a hidden thermostat for how much happiness and success we allow ourselves to feel. When things get too good, we get uncomfortable. So we unconsciously manufacture a crisis to bring us back down to our familiar level of misery. Abraham Maslow called this the Jonah Complex. It is the fear of one's own greatness. We fear our highest possibilities as much as we fear our lowest. We are terrified of what we could be because it demands too much of us. Invisibility is safe. If you are successful, you are visible. If you are visible, you can be judged. You can be attacked. Remaining a potential genius is safer than becoming a real one because potential cannot be criticized. Success is a burden. Failure is easy, you just have to lie down. Success requires maintenance. It requires responsibility. If you win the championship, you have to defend the title. Part of you prefers the comfort of never trying to the exhaustion of always maintaining. Imposter syndrome is your bodyguard. It tells you, who are you to do this? It feels like an insult, but it is actually a protective mechanism. It keeps you small so you don't get crushed by the expectations of others. You are afraid of being lonely. Deep down, you know that if you evolve, you will outgrow your tribe. Your friends love the struggling you. They can relate to the messy you. If you fix your life, you become a mirror that reflects their stagnation. They will hate you for it. Your identity is wrapped up in your struggle. If you weren't the anxious one, or the victim, who would you be? The death of your trauma identity feels like a literal death. We prefer a familiar hell to an unfamiliar heaven. The chaos you know is less scary than the peace you don't. You are addicted to the certainty of your own suffering. Perfectionism is just procrastination in a tuxedo. It is a defense mechanism. As long as you are perfecting the project, you never have to launch it. It allows you to feel productive while staying safely hidden. You are addicted to the fantasy. In your head, your potential is limitless. You are a god. But the moment you take action, you become human. You become flawed. You kill the perfect fantasy to birth a messy reality. Most people prefer the dream. It is the refusal to grow up. To succeed is to become an adult. It means you are no longer the child waiting for rescue, you are the parent who must provide. This shift in responsibility is terrifying. The fear of the fall. You think, if I stay low, I can't fall far. If you climb high and then fail, the humiliation will be unbearable. So you stay on the ground floor, where the fall is impossible. Commitment feels like a trap. You want to keep your options open. Real success requires closing doors. It requires killing off all other possibilities to pursue one. You are afraid of the sacrifice. Listen to your excuses. I'm too busy is a lie. I'm not ready is a lie. The truth is simply, I am scared of who I will become. Transformation is violence. It is the destruction of the old self. You cannot be reborn without dying first. You are clinging to your cocoon because you are afraid of the pain of the birth. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. You have to break the shell. You have to admit that you have been playing small to make others feel comfortable. The cure is voluntary discomfort. You must train your nervous system to handle intensity. You must practice stepping into the fire until the heat no longer scares you. You have diagnosed the sedation. You have identified the fear. Now, you must act. In part 3, we plan the escape. You cannot escape a prison you do not understand. You have identified the walls and the guards. Now, you must design the breakout. You do not need motivation. You need a strategy. The first step is to realize that safety is an illusion. You think your job is safe. You think you have time. This is a lie. You are walking a tightrope whether you admit it or not. The only difference is whether you are moving forward or standing still. Life is inherently chaotic. You cannot avoid risk. You can only choose which risk you take. You can take the risk of growth, or you can take the risk of obsolescence. You must practice microdosing fear. You cannot jump off the cliff today. You are too weak. You must inoculate yourself against terror. You do this by doing one small thing every day that makes your hands shake. Start with the body. The mind follows the body. Voluntary discomfort is the training ground for involuntary tragedy. Commit social suicide daily. Say the thing you are thinking. Wear the outfit you are afraid of. Train your brain to realize that social awkwardness does not equal death. Invest in your own insecurity. Money in the bank makes you soft. Money deployed into a venture makes you sharp. When you have skin in the game, your senses heighten. You wake up. Burn the boats. You are keeping a plan B because you expect to fail. As long as you have a safety net, you will not jump with full power. Destroy your exit strategy. Make success the only option. Define the nightmare. What is the absolute worst that could happen? Write it down. You will realize the monster is just a pile of clothes. You must be willing to die. Not physically, but socially. Your old identity must burn so the new one can be born. Say no to good things. It is hard to say no to good things, fun parties, easy money. You must sacrifice the good to make room for the great. Comfort distorts your compass. When you are too comfortable, you make decisions based on maintaining comfort, not on pursuing truth. You must remove the magnet to see where you are actually supposed to go. Killed someday. Someday is a code word for never. There is no perfect time. You must start before you are ready. Travel light. The velvet coffin is stuffed with possessions you don't need. They anchor you. Minimalism is not an aesthetic, it is aerodynamic design for your life. Find a running mate. You don't need a mentor, you need a rival. You need someone who pushes you to run faster. Embrace the ugly phase. Your first attempt will be bad. This is the price of entry. If you are not willing to be a fool, you cannot become a master. Create artificial pressure. Deadlines. Public commitments. Financial stakes. You need to trick your brain into thinking, if I don't hunt, I don't eat. Stop renting your life. As long as you are an employee, you are renting your security. The landlord can evict you at any time. Ownership is risky, but it is the only true safety. The plan is simple. Step into the cave. Do the thing you fear most. Do it today. Not because it will succeed, but because doing it kills the fear. The lock is open. Now, you must execute. In Part 4. The leap. The moment of the leap is terrifying. Your biology screams at you to stop. But you jump anyway. You trade the suffocating safety of the known for the terrifying freedom of the unknown. There is no safety net. You realize that no one is coming to catch you. This realization is not depressing, it is electrifying. For the first time in your life, the outcome depends entirely on you. It will be cold. The velvet coffin was warm. The wild is freezing. You will miss the comfort. But then you take a breath, and the air tastes sharp. It tastes like reality. You will get hurt. You will fail. But you will discover something the sedated version of you never knew: you heal. You are not made of glass. You are antifragile. You rediscover your hunger. In the coffin, you were fed, so you never hunted. Now, if you don't hunt, you don't eat. This pressure wakes up dormant genes inside you. You trade job security for the skill security. Skill security is the absolute knowledge that you can walk into any room, anywhere in the world, and create value. That is the only true safety. The anxiety disappears. This is the paradox. Now that you are in danger, you are calm. You are too busy surviving to be anxious. Action kills fear. You find the other escapees. The people you meet in the wild are different. They don't talk about the weather. They talk about ideas. You finally find the tribe you were too big for back in the coffin. The 1,000-yard stare. You develop the look of someone who has seen the other side. You stop caring about petty drama. You have seen the dragon, so you are no longer afraid of lizards. You fall in love with the struggle. You are happy because it is heavy. You are happy because you are strong enough to carry it. You can never go back. Once you have tasted the air outside the coffin, the air inside tastes stale. You have ruined yourself for a normal life. Comfort is overrated. Peace is the presence of purpose. You sleep better on the hard ground of truth than you ever did on the soft mattress of a lie. Failure loses its sting. In the wild, failure is just data. It is feedback. You fail, you adjust, you keep moving. You become unbribable. The world will try to seduce you back. You will say no. You know the price of the ticket is your soul. You build true security. You are the tree that has survived the winter. You know spring is coming because you are the spring. You leave a legacy. The people in the coffins leave nothing behind. You leave behind a story worth telling. The view is worth the climb. The air is thin up here, but you can see for miles. Destroy the pillow. Stop trying to make your life easier. Start trying to make yourself stronger. Do not pray for an easy life, pray for the strength to endure a difficult one. The coffin is open. The sedatives have worn off. The door is unlocked. You are free. Now, get up. And go live. You escaped the coffin. You took the leap. You survived the wild. But now, a new enemy appears. It is silent. It is invisible. It is the drift. Nature follows the law of entropy. Order inevitably decays into chaos. If you stop sharpening the blade, it doesn't stay sharp. It rusts. Success is a sedative. This is the success trap. You worked hard to get comfortable. But once you get comfortable, you stop doing the hard work that got you there. Your victory becomes your defeat. The drift is not a crash, it is a slow boil. You don't wake up one day ruined. You make one compromise. The water gets warmer by a fraction of a degree, and you sleep through it. There is no such thing as maintaining. You are either growing, or you are dying. The moment you say, "I have made it, I can relax now," you have already begun the slide backward. The weeds do not need permission to grow. Fear and laziness require zero effort to cultivate. If you do not actively pull them out every single day, they will take over the garden. You hit your upper limit. You achieved a level of success that your nervous system wasn't used to. So your subconscious dialed back the effort to bring you back to the familiar zone of mediocrity. Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. You are living off the interest of your past glory. You have become a historian of your own life. The drift feels like peace. It feels like coasting. But coasting only happens in one direction, downhill. The reward mentality is toxic. You treat comfort as the reward for suffering. This mindset ensures that you will always return to the velvet coffin. You let your guard down. You forgot that the war against resistance is eternal. You thought you won the war, but you only won a battle. Your brain wants to return to the groove. The neural pathways of your old habits are deep canyons. Gravity wants to pull you back into the old riverbed. Tolerating mediocrity is a leak. One broken window signals to your subconscious that standards have dropped. The rot spreads. And suddenly, you are back. You are back on the couch. You are back in the scroll. The coffin has closed around you again. The wake-up call must be constant. You cannot wake up once and stay awake forever. Discipline is not a permanent status, it is a perishable skill. You need a maintenance protocol. You need a system that detects the drift before it becomes a disaster. Course correction must be aggressive. You must check your coordinates daily. Am I drifting? Am I getting soft? You must shock the system. When you feel the drift, do not negotiate. Do something drastic. Reboot your biology. The fire requires new fuel. You need a new challenge. A new dragon. A new reason to suffer. You have conquered the first mountain. Good. Now, look up. There is a bigger one behind it. The summit is a lie. We are taught to believe that life is a climb toward a specific peak. And that once we reach it, we can rest. This is the destination trap. The moment you cross the finish line, you begin to die. Humans need a goal to orient their biology. When the goal is achieved, the dopamine system shuts down. You don't need a finish line, you need a new race. You must reimagine Sisyphus. What if Sisyphus fell in love with the rock? What if he realized that the rock was the thing that made him strong? This is the path of the master. The master does not work to retire. The master works to refine. The goal is not to win, the goal is to keep playing. Retirement is a disease. The modern concept of doing nothing on a beach is a recipe for decline. Leisure without purpose is torture. You were not built to rest, you were built to conquer. Be like the shark. If a shark stops moving, it drowns. If you stop moving forward, your spirit drowns in the velvet coffin. Perfection is an asymptote. You can never reach it. You can only get infinitely closer. This is not frustrating, it is liberating. It means you will never run out of road. Find a worthy opponent. Find something difficult that pushes back against you. You need resistance to define your edges. A game you cannot lose is not worth playing. You must consciously choose a game that is hard enough to demand your full attention. Complexity is the cure for boredom. When you master the basics, you don't stop. You add complexity. You deepen the practice. Fall in love with the craft. The craft is the act of doing the work well for its own sake. This protects you from the outcome. You must remain a student. The expert's mind is closed. Stay a beginner forever. Friction keeps you sharp. Do not pray for a life without friction. Friction is the whetstone. Switch from consumption goals to creation goals. Visiting a country is consumption, learning a language is creation. Collect skills, not stamps. The world is a down escalator. Entropy is always pulling you back toward mediocrity. To stay excellent requires constant energy input. The horizon always moves. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Your standards must rise. As you get better, your definition of good gets stricter. This is the pursuit of excellence. The infinite game outlasts you. You are building something that you may not finish. You are a link in a chain. Stop trying to finish the storm. Learn to enjoy the rain. The challenge is the life. There is no arrival. There is only the flight. Keep flying. In Part 7, we discuss the final enemy, the shadow of success. There is a secret that successful people rarely tell you. It is lonely at the top. The air is thinner. You worked your whole life to stand in the light, only to realize that the light blinds you to the people you love. You will lose people. Not because you push them away, but because your growth highlights their stagnation. You have to be strong enough to say, yes, that was the point. Beware the tall poppy syndrome. Society loves an underdog, but it hates a winner. The moment you rise above the collective tries to cut you down. You will feel survivor's guilt. Why did you escape the coffin when they didn't? This guilt is a trap. It will tempt you to sabotage your own success just to belong again. Do not dim your light. Dimming your light does not help them see, it just leaves everyone in the dark. The crabs will turn on you. When you were in the bucket with them, they were your friends. Now that you are out, you are the enemy. You need thicker skin. Criticism is the tax you pay for influence. If you are not being criticized, you are not doing anything that matters. Eagles fly alone. Or with other eagles. You must stop looking for validation from people who have never left the ground. You lose the right to complain. When you succeed, people stop empathizing with your problems. You become a target. In the velvet coffin, you were invisible. Now, you are visible. People will project their insecurities onto you. You must practice extreme gatekeeping. Access to you is now a valuable commodity. You must become ruthless about who you let in. Beware of the sycophants. You must learn the difference between those who want to warm themselves by your fire and those who would help you carry the wood. Success creates complexity. You have taxes, employees, public image. You must upgrade your character to handle the weight of the gold. You grieve your old life. It is okay to miss the simplicity of the coffin. Grieve it, but do not go back to it. The cure for isolation is generosity. If you hoard your success, you will rot. If you share it, you reconnect with humanity. Find your peers. You need friends who are not impressed by you. This is the only place where you can be vulnerable again. Stay grounded or fly away. Do the dishes. Call your mother. Remember that you are just a human being who figured out a puzzle. You are not your success. Do not let the wild define you by your victories. You are the consciousness behind the success, not the trophy itself. The shadow of success is just another level of the game. Now you must conquer your own ego. The final test of the free soul is what you leave behind. In Part 8, we discuss the legacy. We have reached the end of the line. We have talked about comfort, fear, risk, and success. But there is one final character in this story that we have ignored until now. Time. Your life is a dash. It is a short line carved in stone between two dates. Everything you are worried about lives inside that tiny dash. And the dash is getting shorter every second. The velvet coffin inevitably leads to the iron coffin. If you stay safe, you will arrive at death's door safely. You will have a pristine body and a pristine, unused soul. And in that final moment, you will scream. But there is another way to die. It is the good death. It is arriving at the end completely used up. You skid into the grave sideways, covered in scars, shouting, "Wow! What a ride!" You die empty because you gave everything away. Do not hoard your life. Life is energy. If you try to save it, it turns stagnant. You were not given this energy to keep it, you were given it to burn it. Legacy is what survives you. The comfort you sought will rot. The only thing that remains is the impact you had on other souls. Your courage creates ripples. When you escaped the velvet coffin, you gave permission to everyone watching you to save themselves. Comfort is forgotten, struggle is remembered. No one writes biographies about people who stayed on the couch. Make your ancestors proud. Your ancestors fought tigers, ice ages, and wars so you could exist. Do not insult their sacrifice by being afraid of an email. The ultimate perspective. In 100 years, no one will know your name. This is liberating. It means your fear of embarrassment is irrational. Nobody cares. So you might as well swing hard. It is not too late. The script is not finished until the ink runs dry. You can rewrite the ending of your story starting right now. Listen to your heart. That beat is a countdown. Do not let the beat go to waste. Use it to move. The velvet coffin is open. We have dismantled the addiction. We have exposed the fear. The locks are cut. You remember who you were. The sedated soul. The fearful child. You honor them, but you leave them behind. You are free. You have reclaimed your birthright. You have chosen the wild over the zoo. You have chosen life over existence. Now, pass it on. Go back to the village. Wake up the others. Tell them that the air outside is breathable. The video is ending. The screen will go dark. The resistance will try to pull you back to the couch immediately. Do not let it. Do not click the next video. Put the phone down. Stand up. Walk out the door. Your real life is waiting for you out there. It is terrifying. It is dangerous. And it is magnificent. Memento Mori. Live now. Goodbye, friend. See you in the wild.